moment. And that's right. It's Crazy Conversation, the talk show on RadioVegas.rocks. Prepare your excitement glands. Get ready to secrete gladness. Shout out to Josh, keeping it scally. I love you, Josh. Whee.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank you.
We did it season 15, episode 229, Captain's Log.
What if that's really the number? That's like the correct number? Because it's around that. It's season 4, truly.
Yeah.
And, oh, speaker time. Thank you, Troy. Good to see you. And
Yeah, so before our...
we can make that speaker fella happen later. Thank you. All right. We've got tons of magical news time. Hey, guests are sliding in. Welcome to the beginning of the broadcast. It's going to have some crazy flavors to it. Prepare. Have a seat here. Mine over there.
All right, everyone's getting all settled in.
Papers? There's not really. Are you rolling papers or like writing notes on papers? Oh. Yeah, just like find some scripture of some kind. Yeah, that's you. Look at you on there.
We don't smoke
All right.
joints. It's
You
new
want to
age,
talk
man.
into this side of this fella.
No.
Okay.
And there's
Outside,
a whole
yeah.
nother stream going on over there. That's also a thing. Brian, come in here. What are you sitting way back there?
New room, I like.
You're going to say stuff, no one's going to hear you? Welcome to that inside baseball time. You're seeing it happen in real time. Checking
Yeah.
my angles. So, before we dig into any news and stuff, I just want to recognize Tiffany Salerno, our guest, and I'm an Alien Zine, which is a really cool local zine that she's repping. We can hold this up. And
Yeah, oh, it looks dope.
the thing that I've caught even more is the photography and all the photography that you've been doing on Instagram. I think a great place to see bitchin' angles on what the local art and music scene in this town looks like, what some of the visceral down on the ground floor situation is to have flinging sweat at you. It's this Instagram page is killer. So welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you.
And
We've
we
also
our
got a
good-
bonus surprise, classic Brian Gibson. Don't make it sound there, because we're
Hi.
primarily an audio thing.
Hello. How you doing?
Thanks so much for bringing the speaker time back. We're going to see.
Thank you, Tiffany, for inviting me. I really appreciate that.
It's
Yeah.
kabooming.
I
Yeah,
know.
we're back.
Yeah.
Gonna take
That's a
these-
heavy statement. You know.
Gonna take these abominations
Yeah.
off. All right.
Yeah, if either of you want to hear headphone time, it helps when we turn on dramatic echo. Yeah.
Do I have that? I do.
Yeah.
I like that. It's new. You guys are coming up, man. I really enjoy it. I love just the thought of your guys' radio show. I really do.
Thanks,
when
man.
she asked me if I'd come, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
that.
Ange Kerfoot mentioned
Always.
Greg and I just had a birthday. We're birthday twins.
It's true.
Yeah, we're the same year and everything.
Yeah, oddly enough.
That is cute.
Yeah, we're the
Super-
cutest. I
yeah,
dare
super
challenge.
I have a friend like that. We're cute. You know?
Yeah.
You have a birthday friend?
Not a birthday friend. We both have the same tattoo. I mean, that
nice.
counts. You know.
It's statistically like
Twinsies.
a thing that happens.
Yeah.
So, what's the craziest news thing that you want to chomp on?
I don't know if I want to jump right into the craziest. We'll just throw it in as a curveball in the middle somewhere. First one, because we all, like, fast food restaurants are coming out with their, we got the Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, all these are like, I mean, you can get them at
I
Carl's,
tried it.
Yeah,
Carl's Jr.
vegan.
They're
Really
good,
good.
right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty
really
close
good.
to a burger.
Yeah.
Like the Impossible Burger,
It's the texture. I don't know what
It's
they
a
do
little-
with the texture, but
yeah. I mean, it's a
Good.
little off still, but it's the closest I've like tasted to a burger, right?
Yeah.
It's just good. Go try one if you haven't. They're just pricey as fuck at like Fat Burger, but Fat Burger's already expensive. Anyway, so Arby's is making a meat carrot as kind of like a counteraction,
I was
as a
wondering where
rebellion.
this was.
Arby's the worst, man.
No, how
They're
dare
not
you?
the worst. I love their milkshakes. I love their regular sandwiches, but then they do stuff like that.
Do you think they're just like jerks? Like they're
I think they're trolling a little
is
bit.
that?
A carrot.
First of all, I don't think anyone's
it looks like a sausage.
It does.
out of all the things to make. Why like a meat carrot? Like carrots aren't
Exactly.
that great.
No.
You know, I mean,
No.
Is it? What is it?
It's like a childhood
casing?
trauma is
An
what it
orange
is.
casing?
yeah, it looks like just like processed meat in a casing in the shape of a
Something.
carrot and like dyed to look like a carrot. And
Like
also
parsley
with-
stuck in
and
the end?
also with parsley in the end. Like,
It's not even real carrot.
yeah, it's
Is
made out of
it The
turkey.
aesthetic of carrot or the taste of carrot?
It's the
Or the-
phallic.
I think
or
it's
the
just supposed
feeling.
to look like look. All right, here we go.
Because I doubt it tastes like carrot.
This is the process.
Me
all right?
too.
Okay, let's
it's
learn.
It's made out of turkey. To get the desired shape and color,
Oh.
Arby's wrapped turkey breast segments in cheesecloth, cooked them
Segments.
for an hour, rolled them in carrot powder, then roasted
Carrot
them for
powder.
another hour, adding sprigs of parsley to give them that full carrot look.
That's
I
disturbing.
mean, no one's gonna eat that
They're-
because it looks like a fucking.
It's
carrot.
everything but carrot.
Like
Yeah,
you would
that's
sell,
right.
you would sell more like cubes of turkey meat
I'd buy that.
than like
Sous
this thing.
vide, huh.
And people will get it for the novelty, I imagine. I just can't imagine, like at
Dried
Arby's,
carrot
where if you
powder.
get like a roast beef sandwich with the Arby sauce, that you're gonna get a fucking
kinda-
meat carrot.
It's kind of like a Cheeto a little bit with the how they roll it. In
Ew.
the
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
that dust.
And let
Yeah,
me get a
It's
meat
carrot
carrot.
dust. Why? Why?
You lick your fingers clean.
I don't know.
How are
Yeah.
they gonna incorporate that though on the Arby's menu? Like you just get a carrot.
You guys sound like an asshole,
Or
man.
is it
One
on the-
carrot,
on
please.
Bread.
Yeah, do you have to order like multiples of it? You have to get like the 5 carrot meal. Like there's three carrots.
please.
Like no, I only want one. I only want one meat carrot. Get out of here with that.
Meat
Arby's.
carrot.
Yeah, I liked how you said, Greg, that they're probably not fooling anybody with that. Like no one's confusing that with a carrot. Like, oh, surprise, you were eating a sausage, a turkey sausage.
Yeah,
Thinking
well,
it was
like-
some carrot.
Like that's the thing. Like people eat meat because like carrots aren't that great. Like
That's why people eat meat is carrots.
well, no, I mean not that, but I mean like people who eat meat aren't gonna be like, oh, let me eat meat that looks like a carrot.
Yeah.
They're just carrots are shit, man.
Yes, they are. I agree 100%.
Like
All right.
Well,
Honestly,
that's it.
though, I do like carrots a lot.
Mic
Like I'm
drop.
actually,
Really?
I'm not a carrot hater.
Also,
Oh, man.
tofurkey. Why? Right? Why do we need tofu in the shape of?
Something about that shape's yummy
A
though.
turkey.
Because I've had lots of tofu that didn't taste like delicious tofurkey.
yeah.
That tofurkey, it's like
It's special.
it's its own special thing.
Okay.
It's
Well-
not turkey or regular
Why
tofu.
are they shaping it into the poor animal that they don't wish to slaughter?
It kind of
So-
looks like a loaf. It
That's-
looks more like a giant Swiss cake roll than a
Okay.
turkey.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Okay, I haven't actually seen one. I'm just imagining like.
They don't do like legs on it.
no.
It's like a fully functional like animal
Yeah.
carrot.
You guys, I'm not
Little-
even a vegetarian, and I
little
love
tofu
tofurkey.
puppet
No,
turkey.
Little
I have a
arms.
thing about vegetarian food. It's trying so much harder to be like regular food and better
Well,
than regular food.
depends. It's
Yeah,
only
no.
that like marketed,
Yeah.
like green. What's that?
Aren't you like
It
Farms.
tastes
admitting?
real.
You're kind of admitting that you're like going without something though when you're
Yeah.
trying to substitute or make up for the meat lacking.
For sure, there's tons of vegetarian things that aren't trying that are great. Like nothing I can name at the moment. Hold on. Soups.
There you
Some of
go.
those soups aren't trying to be. Well, I guess there's meat soups. I'm flailing here. Help me out. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Salads.
I just like woke up
Salad. There you
one
go.
day because
Perfect
like
example.
my girlfriend's a vegetarian and I eat meat for like the first couple of years.
So sorry to hear that.
And then I just woke up one day and like, I'd been eating less and less meat and then just decided not to. But goddamn, do I miss the shit out of meat. So I love like the impossible meat shit. Like I'm all about it. If I can pretend to be eating a juicy burger all day and it's not a burger, like, you know.
I'm holding out for vat meat. I think we're just right on the
Yeah.
cusp. Well, we shouldn't call it that. It's bad marketing, but I
What
still
is
feel
it?
like
Test tube baby meat.
it's meat that never had any brain tissue attached to it. It's just the protein grown that would be a muscle in an animal without the whole rest of the animal, just in a dish.
People would rather
in
do
that configuration
than take off the head and all the limbs.
Oh, for
and
sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it never
Yeah.
had a consciousness.
Yeah,
No, I
get
never
that,
knew.
get that,
There's
get
nothing
that.
to know what's up. It's just a collection of molecules that happen to be chains of proteins.
I like it.
So that you have no guilt.
No, nothing.
Guilt-free
Nothing
meat.
got to even breathe air or look at anything.
Huh? It's almost worse than it living and dying. At least that's natural. It's like Johnny Got His Gun, that Metallica song that's based on that book where this guy gets blown up in the war. The, Nam. He went to Nam, and he lost his limbs. He lost his ability to see, hear, everything, and he was a mute. And so he had to learn Morse code in the end. So it's like we're raising animals like that without a brain or anything. Well, I guess it doesn't even have a brain, so it's like...
Yeah, it's just like a clone of meat.
So I got
It's cloned
it.
meat.
We have our vat meat, and then also we still raise food animals and get to eat them when they're too old to walk around good anymore and they're not having fun anymore. And it's about the time you'd euthanize them anyway. Then we eat those so that there's still an incentive to raise them at all. Because if we're not going to eat it at the end, a lot of people will be like, let's just not even.
Well, just let them exist in the wild like they did before we started industrialized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, some things are
industrializing
too
them
late.
for-
Like,
Agriculture.
there's no way for cows to just live in the wild without people taking care of them.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
The cows as we know them. Guinea pigs, we can't even find
Well,
what they actually evolved from before people domesticated them. They're domesticated so long
Oh,
ago.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
what about ferrets?
Ferrets,
Ferrets are probably... Yeah, ferrets still.
ferrets, I don't feel
Still
like they make good pets at all
No.
unless you make your entire life about that ferret. Because you're basically keeping like a prisoner that, unless you make it really like you, it steals all your stuff and bites you all the time. That was my ferret
And
experience.
and they don't smell that good.
No, that's just something that's like a really. It's close to what I think about with birds as pets. I know there's exceptions and people that really bond with a bird and they're best friends and stuff, but it still smells like Stockholm syndrome to me. It still seems like something that would rather be
smells like-
out in the freedom and only appreciates you like as its captor that treats it well, even though you're restricting
Kind of
it.
in love
that-
with you, but
Yeah.
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's like you warp its perception of love as it grows up. So yeah, it's technically in love with you, but how much consent did it really have as like a really high intelligence living thing? Right?
That's fucking heavy, man.
It's
Jesus.
existential, you know. The ferret's probably like, I'm still
That's
here.
like
I'm in
every
love with
relationship
them.
I've had.
I was waiting to say that like properly. I'm glad you said that. Like, yeah, story of my life.
Not that we're calling you out, Brian.
No. Myself out.
All right, we got...
Heavy.
I don't know if you can hear that without the headphones, but we've got the submarine of knowledge. Oh, I forgot the speaker's back.
Yeah,
Oh, well, jolly
that
yes.
was all the hullabaloo was.
Awesome speaker.
All
back.
right, so...
Toe fetus. Sorry, that's a
Oh.
chat comment from
a
RJ.
Tofu and
Nice.
fetus.
Well, I mean, if we're faking meat sources, we might as well have fun with that.
Yeah, that's like one of my big... Like, are we going to make cloned human meat for the cannibals out there?
I feel like there's like a slippery slope argument there.
Oh, man.
Like, what if you get people to get a taste and they just gotta know? And then Carrie Coerts, shout out.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Carrie,
bird
what's up?
friends.
Bird friends.
Bird friends.
Sometimes they're the only true friends we really have.
Friends that will fly
All right.
away if given the chance at any
It's
moment.
true. All right, we got this dude. I mean, this isn't a great story. It's a shitty thing, but I mean, this dude just looks like the dude that would do something like this. Our boy from Florida, Otis Ryan, apparently goes to a kid's playground and decides to yell loudly at the kids and tell them where babies come from.
Oh my gosh. Well, part of that sounds like it could be helpful if the parents approve of how he would go about it, but he doesn't look like a child educator.
No, exactly. Yeah.
For the audio listeners, his face is completely tattooed.
yeah.
And he chose in his mugshot to make like a snarly face.
Yeah.
He didn't like smile. It looked like he's like someone trying to be tough, but like succeeding very, very adequately.
I taste like pizza. What is this?
Oh, that's Carrie mentions that he tastes like pizza, or Tofitas does. Anyway, this I thought you saw like a chat thing that this person here said, "I taste like pizza," because that's what his voice looks like in this picture. He's like, look at me,
He has an unk on his cheek. Is that an unk?
Yeah, underneath.
He doesn't look peaceful.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of interesting tattoos there. It looks like he has a third eye in the middle of his forehead that's faded as fuck.
He's
but-
a hotep, you guys. I just learned the background of that being like a thing that people say.
a hotep.
Yeah. So,
Enlighten us.
well, this is controversial, but like if you just see what is put out, like Urban Dictionary and general like generalizations of something that has like this whole pattern of Twitter culture behind it that I can't claim to have been with like the last several years, but hotep just means like peace or like peace to you in Egyptian or like that kind of like well-wishing, but it's been attached with black men that try to act woke and teach people things while disregarding the rights of black women.
Huh.
Like,
That's interesting.
like kind of like a
And very specific.
opposite of, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it's used as a specific insult, but then it's also taken upon people that might necessarily not be like that or just trying to be educated or woke in a positive way. So it doesn't just have negative connotations. It's more complicated than any one definition. And there's like a decade of like Twitter culture behind it.
Oh, wow.
But like, I just noodled into that, and that's a terribly complex thing to bring up, but
Yeah,
worth,
yeah, for sure. I imagine.
in this context, but worth looking into more. And that's part of what we're doing here anyway. It's just like, here, have all kinds of fun nuggets about the world to know what's going on a little bit, at least enough to be interesting conversation. Why is there this gorilla? I didn't put these together. Some ad for this woman who raised a gorilla. Husband introduced wife to wild gorilla he raised. But a minute later, oh man, it's just some like tweet.
Then
some
did the
bait
woman
thing.
did the woman marry the gorilla?
I don't know, but it feels like allthat'sinteresting.com is trying to has some like racist algorithm or something with
Oh,
this
really?
crazy guy like associating things. I don't know. I'm making wild accusations here. But tell me more about
Sounds
this
like it.
person arrested teaching these kids about where babies come from.
No, that's.
It looks
I
like
mean-
he's saying they come from me.
Yeah,
No,
I
no, that's.
make them.
I mean, that's pretty much it. He just like he
A
was.
vulgar explanation.
Yeah, he was just like a crazy dude who was like in a scuffle with someone else like near the park or something, and was all heated, and it just came over and thought it would be a good idea to just yell at kids about where babies come from.
Yell at them.
Of course, we all know they come from the stork, so those kids should be just prepared for life right now.
What did he say, you think? What were the exact words?
I know we need
Oh,
to dive a
man.
little deeper. Did
I
you
wonder.
find
I
any?
wonder if he like
It was
pulled
a
up.
vulgar explanation.
I wonder if he like pulled up and got on those little, those things on the spring, like you rock back on. Like he's on one of those. He's like, gather around, children.
Have you tried those as an adult? When you get on,
Oh, yeah, you
they
can go,
spring
like-
over and then you just stop.
Yeah.
You just like bend over and you're just touching. the
Yeah,
ground,
or
they
if you
just
try to go
freeze.
backwards, you're just like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm just laying on the ground now.
and then when you try to climb off, it like flings
Launches
forward
forward.
and
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
out your friend's teeth or something.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
awesome.
There's a new way to interact with those.
Yeah,
Alright.
no, I imagine his explanation was breathtaking.
What we have here is that he then started shouting from the top, telling the children that babies come out of women, which
No.
is like that's delicate.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
I have to
That's
say,
kind of common sense, though. Even little kids know the babies come out of.
Yeah, kids learn like really young. Like you'd be surprised. Like, well, I think parents.
How does it get
Maybe
in
like
there,
maybe
though?
like my.
yeah,
Yeah,
What did he say about
that's
that?
yeah.
he had to have mentioned something about that. But he kind of looks more innocent than this is coming out. Like, he looks like he's trying really hard to be scary
Uh huh.
to the point of not seeming as scary as someone more like innocuous. And if this is like as far as he got, like you come out of your mother's and it's between her legs. He just avoids all these vulgar terms. He's actually like Bill Nye about it. He just like quotes Bill Nye verbatim, and just because he's covered in tattoos in his face, people are like, "Oh, it's so vulgar." That would be funny. I doubt it's like that.
Should be the guy that tells you when you're a kid, like about where babies come from.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, with the bow tie and everything.
He's busy reteaching adults the same stuff over again. He's like all he does now. So, what do we have looming next? Or do we have one quick short one, or do we have...
Let's go ahead and just do a quick...
Commercial chug?
Commercial chug. Well, just give me...
Drinking, and I'm feeling so low. Another night of drinking, I got no get up and go. Maybe I drank too much whiskey, beer, and such. Need a little shot of Hangover Joe's. Now you see me moving and my feet ain't dragging the floor. Feeling pretty good and my head ain't pounding no more. Happens all the time, and the only thing saving my life is a little red and yellow shot called Hangover Joe's. Hey folks, this is Ken from the Altogether's. We tend to drink a lot at our shows. Actually, we drink a lot everywhere. Hell, I'm drunk right now. Sometimes I get tanked just so I can drink Hangover Joe's. Now, while you should drink responsibly, things do tend to get out of hand from time to time, and that's why you should get Hangover Joe's right now while you're sober. Now, if you excuse me, I got a song to finish, so I can go get drunk. It happens all the time, and the only thing saving my life is a little red and yellow shot called Hangover Joe's. A little red and yellow shot called Hangover Joe's.
Oh man, that was a serious ditty by the Altogether's. You gotta check them out in addition to Hangover Joe's, which I have guzzled this morning even. I'm on that Hangover Joe's energy right now. But that's not it. We have one more magical thing to show you. They're new and fresh all the time. Get ready.
Cold Cock American Herbal Whiskey. Enjoy responsibly.
All right, Dicks, but I told you to register for the free Aerosmith tickets by clicking on the link for the Radio Vegas Rocks app and then simply register your name and phone number under the VIP tab. To punish you, Dicks, I'm going to play Janie's Got a Gun on my hand flute while I explain again how great this contest through Radio Vegas Rocks truly is. This is free airfare, free hotel accommodations, and 2 VIP tickets on the actual stage. You're on the stage watching Aerosmith play. If one of you dicks win these tickets and you have no one to go with, I'll go with you. I would love to see if an Aerosmith on stage turtle, even if you win. As long as you promise you don't roofie my drink, you don't have sex with my dead corpse. Hopefully he doesn't make my skin into some sort of apparatus he wears around his face. I'll even stay with you. All you have to do is download the Radio Vegas Rocks app and register under the VIP tab of the app to win.
Download the Radio Vegas Rocks app right now.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Fade from Faded and Elevated, and I am so excited to talk to you guys about Deluxe Cleaning Service. Yeah, that's right. Miss Blanca Lopez, she is the cat's meow, y'all. She comes to your house. She comes to your office. She comes wherever you need her to go, and she cleans that sucker up like it's never been cleaned before. Yeah, that's right. She will come absolutely anywhere. Wherever you need her, she's there to keep you clean in the deluxe way.
We back? That's it?
Yeah.
Woo! Hey, you guys. That was a cozy,
Actually,
easy
special
going.
edition show, just ads for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Just the rest. Yep. That's what we're doing.
That was one of my favorite commercial breaks we've ever had even. We've got more comments hopping in. My condolences, Ange Kerfoot, for the grossest topics happening front loaded for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have a follow-up.
Yeah.
I love follow-up stories, right?
That's right.
This is related to my favorite topic, meth news.
We always have meth news. It's clearly not encouraging it. If you haven't
I hope,
figured that out
I hope
by the
fuck
subtext.
not.
Yeah.
I really hope not. So anyway, last week we covered the story that I'm sure a few people have heard that these couple of dudes were hustling meth in Alabama, and they were raising an attack squirrel and feeding it methamphetamine, which is terrible to do to a squirrel. They're so cute. And they're cool little guys. Yeah, you don't need to give little forest animals meth. All right. But anyway, they finally caught these dudes.
Yeah, there was more pictures of it, of the squirrel, who we discovered is named D's Nuts.
Because of course it was.
It feels like it was reported without the context of that name, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like almost like,
was, yeah.
cute. It's like a cute way of talking about the squirrel's food. Yeah. I feel like the person that wrote the news article was like, that went over their head.
Yeah, well, they made sure to mention it. So
A
that's
couple
always,
times.
yeah, they're like authority. And even like mentioning, because like, that's really the only like notable part of the story is the attack squirrel, right? Because like a couple dudes doing meth shit isn't exactly news these days. You
That's
know what
not
I mean?
the squirrel.
Okay.
That's an exotic cat. And ABC has got the video of this exotic cat attack.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the stupid,
yeah.
I swear there was a meth crazed squirrel here before when
I imagine there probably was, but
this
they,
commercial. This in this context is hilarious though. Like this cat is very much more powerful than that squirrel probably as an attack animal.
yeah, yeah. I mean, attack cats would be like way scarier than.
Yeah, that's a real possibility. Here's the fella, if any of you want a fresh look at our buddy. Just who framed this picture too? It's like eyeball up. Are we sure? Yeah, you guys see this. What the heck? This is the worst
That's the
journalism
whole photo.
So I went. This article we
dramatic.
reported on this last week, and there's a picture of him like all
Yeah,
arms
yeah.
and claws up. Now there's a picture that's like below his eye, above. It's just the head of a squirrel, and then we keep seeing this giant, chubby, sleeping dog.
Yeah, that's probably not even like the same squirrel either. It's just like another squirrel in a cage.
Probably.
Man.
ABC is dropping the ball. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed in ABC News today.
Lame
The website-
AF, man.
It's like a party of
But
irregularities
can
right
you
now.
feed it meth? You have, like, you smoke it, you snort it.
I mean, you can ingest it, sure.
You can
It affects you differently, yeah. But usually, like when you ingest things, it actually is hits you stronger.
I would imagine
So-
that it would be very difficult to cut a dosage small enough that wouldn't kill the squirrel.
Right.
So I'm guessing they just blew smoke in the squirrel's face.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right. Yeah.
That, like, as crazy as that sounds, is probably the only thing possible.
Yeah.
Or dissolving a tiny bit in a large amount of water and then just putting that as the drinking water. And that
Yeah.
doesn't seem like these people
And then,
thought it
like,
through that
why?
much.
Why is
Yeah.
this the
'Cause
thing
we
you
need an attack
spend
squirrel.
time doing?
Breeds loyalty.
because when those other fucking gangs, when they come to rip us off, like I know they've been planning, all right? They've been planning because I was over there. I saw them. Okay, all right. They're planning to scheme them. All right. They got all these notebooks and shit, and they like writing them all the time, all right? So like when they come over and try to rip us off, they won't be able to, because these nuts got my back.
That is exactly like the kind of paranoia. Like, they had notebooks and they're writing in them, so they're planning to kill us.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
So
That's the. Oh, if anyone needs to know where the water is, it's in the larger studio in one of the two little refrigerators. Just
In the
because
gut.
we got to have everyone involved in the whole conversation.
yeah. All right. So what
Inclusive.
is off the top of your head your least favorite bug that you like to encounter?
Oh, this is a fun question. Least
A
favorite bug.
scorpion.
I hate ants.
Is that a bug? No. That's,
Scorpions, I
that's
feel like
an
it can-
arachnid?
Yeah.
It's not an insect, but it is a bug.
Yeah, arachnids are still like bugs. But like bugs
sure.
is just like a more
Mosquitoes, my least
Yeah, mosquito.
favorite. Yeah.
all right.
They were attacking me last night on Fremont. I was like,
How'd they even get over there?
I don't know.
Who's leaving pools of water lying around on Fremont? How are
Yeah.
mosquitoes
I
getting
grew
there?
up in Vegas and I never encountered mosquitoes ever. And then recently it's like, yeah, we have mosquitoes. What? Since when?
That's really
Once in
sloppy.
a while, we get like a little bit of mosquitoes, but it's like very few. Like we don't have mosquitoes.
Like a mosquito because like a neighbor's pool got out
yeah,
of control.
yeah, stuff like that. But like we don't have mosquitoes like other places have mosquitoes.
Pool
Shit.
mosquitoes.
Another one is bed bugs, man. I had bed bugs at my last place. No good.
I don't ever want to experience that for
That's
sure.
the worst.
I'd like to draw attention, audio listeners that aren't able to see, Brian's choice in water. He chose the natural light water. That
Same
Same
water,
difference.
it's probably the least pure water.
I never drink one beer and I'm
So
gone.
Nestle's version of water.
This is gonna be fun.
Nestle's version of water.
Yeah.
All right, so, well,
What do you got next for us?
cockroaches.
Oh wait, cockroaches.
Yeah.
my God.
So that was the lead-in. So cockroaches are a lot of people's least favorite bug to encounter because we usually run into so many of them, more than scorpions or anything like that.
Besides
Um,
Joe in his apartment.
So now, yeah, Joe's apartment, classic.
He loves him.
But now it seems that cockroaches are becoming resistant to insecticides.
Oh my God.
So,
Well, yeah, I thought that they came out with new additions. Like when you get those traps, it's always like Magnum 3rd generation version 7. You notice like they expire, and every time you get one at the store, there's like a new formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they had been working on this for a minute down in their little.
They are, and
Certain-
they just keep getting used to
Ticks
it.
Yeah.
too. Like ticks are getting resistant to
Oh no.
your bug spray and whatnot. Like it's not
Ticks,
affecting
yeah.
them.
man, so like just all these little organisms that we don't like are just adapting to all the ways we have to kill them. So, but no, it's like a specific breed of cockroach, it seems, but they're becoming pretty resistant to like most, if not all, forms of insecticides.
It's kind of
So-
like they're gearing up to get back at us.
It's an invasion.
Yeah.
Yo, like imagine if like
Oh,
all of the
well.
insects
Dude,
in
that
the
fella.
world
Jeez.
just decided to like turn on humans, like wage war against humans. Do you think we win?
I would invest in Doc Martin.
No,
This guy.
I believe it bring the world together because we'd have to come together to defeat
But then could we?
Russia. Goodbye, all political.
But what if? But like they're holding all the. They're like, hey, who's gonna pollinate all your plants, motherfuckers? Like, what you
These.
gonna do? Submit.
These.
Fucking submit.
So what we
Submit.
do is
Yeah.
we work with the cockroaches, and eventually what they're going to learn how to do is pile on top of each other and form
Look like
humanoid, like children height
yeah, no,
entities
two
to interact
kids in
with
a
us.
trench coat.
Yeah.
That kind of deal.
It'll be on that status. They won't be able to get higher than 2 or 3 feet tall, but that'll be enough to get our respect. And
Yes.
they'll flutter their wings in such a way and position like an air cavity in the mouth part. And all you need is 2 filters and a sound source, like a spread spectrum sound source or something that you can
Piercing.
filter to get the vowel sounds, and then a little bit of a click sound for the edges of consonants. And you've pretty much got most of what you need for human speech. So they do that, they pile on, and each cockroach is obviously not smart enough for this. But when they can talk to each other, they'll do that chemical, electrical communication through their legs, like little neurons. And we'll just have these walking cockroach people, and they'll get to vote. There'll be like a new civil rights thing. And
Get to
then
marry.
the dolphins will be like xenophobic against them. So when dolphins are starting to get ready to vote, they'll be like, no, dolphins, but not.
Humans are on their way out.
There'll be these
Probably.
insect exclusionary dolphin
Dolphinoids.
dolphinists.
Dolphinus.
Yeah,
There's actually
insect exclusionary dolphinists.
there's actually a book with like a really close like plot to that, not with the dolphins, but basically insects are trying to contact humans to get them to stop destroying the environment, So like all these insects,
Fungally.
like join together and make like a humanoid, so they can blend in with humans and like
I knew I didn't like invent
infiltrate.
this.
Yeah. It's called The Green Brain by Frank Herbert, the dude who wrote Dune.
Nice.
Cool book.
Good pull. Hey.
Yeah. I read a book once. That was the only book I ever read, though.
This is some serious.
I
Coincidentally.
read Lord of the Flies from like page 60 onward, and I know the beginning. And I feel like I got all the action. All
Like
the
just by
meat.
heart, like you're gonna recite it.
No, I just started reading from halfway through the book.
Like Brian started telling Lord of the Flies just
Yeah.
from memory.
So, like, they all get together and
Asmar.
they do not like each other. It's us versus them for sure. Classic story of us versus them. Anyways. And then they get saved.
They get saved.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For a book that came out however long ago.
Ooh, that was a creepy crawly sound. I could like hear the antennas in that one.
Oh,
I
this
can still hear it.
this thing looks pretty
Still
cool.
hear it.
Waz,
What are we talking about
why
now?
don't you break down the
Uh-oh.
sphere,
The sphere.
the Las Vegas sphere?
Yeah, shout out to Edge
project.
Kerfoot for throwing me this one just today.
So,
And hold on, you added some stuff post sphere, didn't you?
I did.
Boom,
Of course I did.
process. Look at this.
Where do you
Extra
find
stuff.
this?
You know what?
All over.
just ask God.
We spend all week adding to this document, starting like Sunday or Monday, at least. We start this document together, and then once it gets a couple things in it, I try to share it on Facebook for some people to peep in. But there's going to be this circular fella in Las Vegas that is a spherical, more than a half dome. It's like a slightly in there sphere fella. And it's going to be an 18,000 seat arena, the MSG Sphere. That can't be their final name.
That's what I'm saying.
MSG.
MSG Sphere, you guys, monosodium glutamate sphere. 360 feet tall and just off the McCarran International Airport flight pattern, which might be an issue. They're double checking with the airport.
Oh yeah, that's what the big deal was. Is they were worried it was going to disrupt flights and shit. Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be built on a 63-acre lot.
Storage lot.
Whoa.
Yes, they'll be connected to the convention center by a pedestrian bridge. And then there's a bunch of boring stuff in this article about a parking waiver. And
Yeah,
then-
we don't care about that. We just want to see the giant sphere.
That's right. It's going to be a digital showcase for brands, artists, events, and partners, although it looks cooler when it's just like a big globe,
Yeah.
that kind of situation. People are asking what the heck it's going to be used for, but I mean, obviously, you can have events in it.
Entertainment.
Yeah, like we...
Like a spherical
And like
billboard?
entertainment.
Yeah.
Wow.
And entertainment happening inside of it. It'd be an awesome concert venue, for example.
Yeah, I imagine like whatever's going on in the inside projected on the outside.
Area 15, though. Meow.
Oh yeah, I
dude.
can't wait till that's open.
Oh, so Meow Wolf is happening in Area 15? Because I saw
Yeah.
the Area 15 building and just thought that was a clever
Where's that?
switch of the numbers. It's on the
You
strip,
should,
right? Downtown?
Yeah,
No,
it
it's off-
is.
it's
off
off-
the freeway. by
Yeah,
the
it's
Great
off like if
City.
you're going like south on the 15 for all you locals. It's like around like if you get off on like Spring Mountain, it's over to the right, right before Spring Mountain, I think.
Yeah.
Or like
There's this
Flamingo,
guy.
somewhere around there.
Nowhere near where I initially said.
There's this guy I always bring up, Tiffany knows, John Doffing. He's involved with this. You should follow him on Facebook. He has really interesting news articles. He's
Yes,
really
we
like
should.
that.
Yeah, we've talked about Meow Wolf in the past.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I love people like him because he just has like he's rich, so he's just like, hey, I want your band to play. Here's $200. Hey, I want you to put up a thing. Here's $100. Like it seems like he brings like $5,000 just to be like, oh, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go.
It's the walking
Just to
grand.
get like
It's
local
really
artists and
nice.
stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and yeah.
Yeah, Area 15 is gonna be dope. They're gonna put a few things in there, like arcade bar. I
it's a
heard was one of the
venue.
things.
Yeah, I hope it's a venue too.
Yeah, music venue plus Meow Wolf installation. So should be pretty dope.
Trippy shows, yeah.
All right, where are we at?
Yeah, what's...
We are
okay,
here.
this is where we find out. Behold, ominous looming discovery hour awaits us. Also, I need to make sure we cover the nuggets we have on the promo graphic. Be sure
We don't need
And
to do that.
Stay tuned with our Instagram if you think that we're just some Facebook thing. You can follow along on there, see our upcoming news headlines. That's the word I was hunting for. Headlines. Anyway.
Oh yeah, how about this one? I don't know if you
Sock
followed
it to
this
me.
too closely. Was NASA announced their next destination for a probe will be Saturn's moon Titan.
Yes, check it out. Titan's awesome because it has even less gravity than the 1/6 the moon has. I believe it has 1/8 if I remember right. And better yet, instead of having, I can't spell Titan. Excuse me. You have to appear to be going through pain if you're going to burp or clear your throat or do any bodily sounds
Yeah.
anywhere near these mics. You want the audience to
Has to
feel like
appear.
you're suffering from it. So then they can like shade and fraud rather than be grossed out with you. They can. Anyway, So-
Schadenfreude?
thank you. That's shady fraud.
Shady fraud?
So, Titan, unlike Mars, with its thin atmosphere, has hella atmosphere.
What?
So the rover that we've launched to land on Titan isn't going to roll around on it. They've found it's much easier for it to just hop and fly.
I was gonna say hop.
In fact, the atmosphere is so thick that if you had wings proportionate to a bird, with your current like muscle structure, you could flap around and fly yourself, even with like
Let's
Pretty
go.
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
flap around. It's not a breathable atmosphere, but it's nice and soupy. And
What?
this rover is called Dragonfly, and it's gonna just
Just a little
hop around.
hippity hop around.
Yeah, little propellers on there. Little hippity hopper. Exactly. It's magical. That fact that this moon of Saturn, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to double check my facts on all the space stuff because I'll just excitedly mix up. some
Yeah, because like
interesting
Saturn
things.
and Jupiter have a shit ton of moons, so it's like
Juicy moons too,
Yeah.
with volcanoes and atmospheres and
It
fun
launches
stuff.
in
Ice moons.
2026, But how long does it take to get there?
Good question.
probably like
That's-
I don't know. It's gonna be I don't know
Man.
what 8-9 years.
It looks like the Amazon drones mixed with batteries not included. Shout out if you remember batteries not included.
Yes. Of course.
Look at this
Hell
fuzzy
yeah,
fella.
of course.
Yeah, that was some cute ass disc robots.
Alien disc robots.
The
cute
cutest.
old people.
Oh,
Never-
Oh
Is
man,
it Angela Lansbury? No.
should have been that and what's the Johnny 5 Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Yo,
Now
Johnny.
that's really my jam. You guys remember
Johnny.
Short Circuit too?
Yes.
Yeah.
It gets gold plated at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love my favorite part is when he like meets the gang.
Yeah.
No, John. What does he say? Johnny
Los locos
Five
kick your
alive.
balls. Los locos kick your face.
Oh yeah.
Los locos kick your balls into outer
Outer
space.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, Johnny 5 was like the best little robot guy.
The Indian character is so racist, though.
Yeah, but that
Was he? I haven't
actor
watched it in a
played
while.
that a lot though. Didn't he also do that same character in something else like a sitcom? Or I'm thinking of Balky.
Oh, Balky.
That was America's
Perfect
best attempt.
Strangers?
Yeah. I feel like those two examples, while they should have just actually found Middle Eastern American actors, at least they were representing like a race that just didn't pop up at all otherwise on radar of like American
Yeah,
media.
yeah, for sure.
So it was like the best we could do. Was recognize it's like not
Was
all the way
like-
there,
It
but
was like
it was some,
early mid 80s too. I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
We're afraid to actually involve anyone in these races because of the state of Hollywood at this era. At least
I remember that
recognize
actor
him.
was on The Surreal Life, and he was just like a terrible human being.
Oh, really? Oh,
Bummer.
man.
Remember that?
No,
The
It was
Surreal
so good
Life.
on VH1, early 2000s. I was obsessed.
that show was pretty cool, but I don't remember all the seasons.
I don't remember that dude
No,
specifically.
forgot about him. I remember everyone just remembers Vern Troyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And China Doll.
Oh yeah,
Remember China
Is that
Doll?
the guy who beat himself up and was like, people beat me up because I'm gay, but then he beat himself up?
you are
Uh,
thinking this is recent.
What?
No,
Yeah,
I know what
very
Brian's talking.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Jesse Smollett.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vern Troyer was
Oh, yeah, that
Vern
actor.
Troyer was Vern Troyer was Mini-Me from Austin Powers.
What did he do?
Well, he peed in a corner.
He was
And-
on the Surreal Life. Yeah.
yeah.
And he would pee, like drunkenly pee in the
He
corner.
would get
and
like super drunk all the time and ride around on his little
He
scooter.
would just be naked on a scooter.
Yeah, and then just like riding around the house, and peeing everywhere. Yeah,
On a rascal.
yeah, it's interesting, dude.
Oh man, you guys want to hear something I'm angry about since we're being all smiley?
Yeah,
This is
lay it on us.
Let's get angry.
Yeah, this is fun anger because like no one's really at harm. It's the opposite. But
That makes
there
it worse.
there are transcendental meditators, which that concept alone I'm not like against or for or whatever. It's not like
I know a few. We were
Yeah.
just talking about that last night.
all due respect, but this particular group of them, just to contextualize their group, is against their electric company putting smart meters outside their building. And they don't want these smart meters because smart meters connect to cell phone towers, just like your phone, or Wi-Fi, depending on how they function. But I believe it's almost entirely something like SIM card status kind of thing, that kind of network. Because what other networks are there? They're not going to have like a proprietary radio frequency granted them by the FCC. It's just tiny little the two like those two spinning wheels on your dang electric meter. It's like 6 little numbers or something.
Yeah.
That's not a huge amount of data that's going to have to go through the airwaves. Their argument is that it's another source of radio frequency and that there hasn't been enough studies done on electromagnetic radiation, what it does to people. And this makes me extremely frustrated as someone even like a little bit techie. Like, I guarantee no one in this meditation thing has ever made any radio frequency device. Has never even like learned enough to even put like a kit together that transmits or receives any radio frequency, let alone has read any of the studies.
It's just paranoia.
Yes. Well, there's been over 100 years of research into how radio frequencies affect people. Since Tesla and Marconi, we've been studying since the X-ray and since microwaves and all the types of all the types of electromagnetic radiation and what levels they actually do affect people, and the difference between frequency and energy levels, and how energy might increase with frequency, but not such that a high frequency necessarily means it's going to ionize anything. And they're not even using any of this terminology. It's like the very basic terminology I'm using about this, let alone acknowledging the fact that the radio frequencies these things would be tapping into and transmitting at are constantly flowing through their bodies at the exact same energy level that they would whether this little energy meter outside the building is going to receive any and transmit a little bit itself or not.
Yeah.
In fact, your phone, to make its way out of the building to the antennas, is a way higher energy in that moment from inside the building. And it's still not only at a frequency level, but at energy level just exponentially below where it would even really significantly interact with molecules in your body. Like the difference between the wattage of a microwave and the high frequency of it at that wattage and the type of wattage that your phone does, like difference between megahertz and gigahertz. I mean, there's a lot of zeros involved. People act like there's only this narrow spectrum, but it goes up exponentially. And what's in one little band and some of the concerns about 5G, for example, just to come into that, a lot of people are worried that 5G cell phone networks, because it's a higher frequency band, are going to be dangerous in a way that's just totally not been studied. And it's all people that just haven't read any of the studying.
Well, all the people paranoid and
they're not doing their research.
Yeah, they don't understand these things, though. And there's whole groups of people that will deny science and deny facts anyway, and just believe what they want to believe.
Yeah, and they'll get in this hole of reading articles and watching videos that just say that
that reinforce their paranoia.
Yeah. This thing is electromagnetic, and this completely unrelated thing is electromagnetic. Like, no duh, light and radio are electromagnetic, and we don't even perceive those with the same body parts. And they're still on the same spectrum. So they'll compare apples to turn signals, and act like they're anything at all the same thing and say, oh, we haven't studied this, we don't know anything about it, when like in the very same search results on the same page you can see actual studies about it done decades ago that have been redone by another country a decade later, and it's just all stuff that's been studied to death. It's some of the most studied things, some of the most advancement in research humanity has done has been into like fractal patterns of metal inside your phone to make antennas fit in there that used to be as big as your arm. We've done incredible things in this field from studying the crap out of it by researchers that weren't wearing like vests or anything. They're just like, oh, let's try this chip and this antenna, like not even safety goggles because it's freaking radio energy that's traveling through us all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like such a level of ignorance that's frustrating to me because these people are spreading this. It's like negative intelligence. It's like negative data.
It's going to be like another...
There's a lot of that going on.
No, you don't know. We don't know. But no, the people that actually know and have degrees in it, that have studied what people have done with it for over 100 years, they're more likely to know than you do.
But they're being paid off by big radio wave.
Big radio wave.
They're biased, right? They're not to be believed.
Yeah, in this era where people live longer than they ever have.
Yeah. It's really funny if you look up like some ads about microwaves, like after microwaves became like really prominent in households.
Oh yeah.
There were like ads of like a family, like there's a mom serving like dinner from a microwave to the family, but they all start like mutating and they have like crazy like mutant arms and like 4 eyes on their head and stuff. It's really bizarre, but just it's funny, the advertising back then.
Yeah, they couldn't even tell the difference between ionizing radiation from like a molecule that's emitting particles off of it and electromagnetic radiation, which is like photons and radio waves.
Yeah.
It's a totally different type of subatomic particle in like every way.
All right, do we want to do...
Well, what I noticed is like family members, older family members, like whatever you don't understand, they fear. Like they don't have the ability to understand all of that because they don't have the background and the education, so they just fear it and they come up with different conspiracy theories and paranoias and
xenophobia.
And I'd feel bad for him if it was something new. But I'm like, no, you guys, this is older than you. You just took it for granted this whole time.
Yeah, you just never learned about it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm supposed to believe, like, take all your transcendental meditation, and there's different... Transcendental meditation is awesome, and there's a lot of different flavors of it. And there's a lot of other things associated with it that may sound more or less, like, made up in relation to how legit it is that meditation is something that's been part of religion and human ritual and all kinds of things that it relates to in human psyche or whatever. Just all these other things can be attached to it that people want to be taken seriously. There's all these things that are fringe as far as like healing and energy transfer between people that may be true or untrue to different levels. And it's just so ridiculous for someone to want something fringe to be believed from them, yet they can discredit themselves so much on something else. Like I'm going to say... I'm not just going to expect you to think that what I propose is like a real thing. I'm going to say this whole real world is baloney too.
Yeah.
Like that really credits you apparently. So not to call anyone specific out because there's...
I'll do that part.
Yeah, it's not my job. But this was particular baloney.
All right, let's do our next commercial chug right quick.
Dang, already. We're hauling butt, you guys. We've got a bunch more nuggets. You can tune in to the news yourself. Just go to woz.lol and find this episode, and you can look at these same articles with us. Hop in the chat, do what you need, and join us later, even if it's in the future that you're discovering this. Welcome to the future. All right, commercial chug.
Barbecue? Well, it's a tiny, unassuming place with a modest menu of platters, sandwiches, and house-made sauces. Located at 5611 South Valley View. By the smell alone, you're going to know you're in the right place. Come try the award-winning slow-smoked ribs, chicken, pulled pork, hot links, and brisket. The sauce is also something to talk about, as you will want to eat it with every bite. Here's a tip. Their sauces are available for purchase. When people ask you, how do you like Jesse Ray's barbecue? You'll say, like most people I know, I don't like it, I love it. Jesse Ray's barbecue is 100% legit. Stop on by for a meal that will satisfy your barbecue-loving lips. Mention RadioVegas.rocks for 10% off your order. Jesse Ray's, located at 5611 South Valley View on the corner of Valley View and Russell. Come in, take a bite, find out why they're so award-winning. Hey Las Vegas, are you tired of the grind of the busy Las Vegas Strip and lifestyle? Do you feel like you need to get away to an island retreat without ever really leaving town? The Golden Tiki Bar. It's located at 3939 Spring Mountain Road. You can rumble in the sand of what it seems like a lost hideaway with hot Treasure Island girls, amazing drinks, tiki gods who will be smiling down upon you. The Golden Tiki offers a multitude of experiences. It's open 24 hours a day. It's located right in the heart of Chinatown. It's 3939 Spring Mountain Road. It's the Golden Tiki Bar.
Dude wipes.
True. A guy one time, he pulled his pants down and bent over and spread his cheeks.
What did the 5 minutes look like before that? Like, how did he just lead up to that?
He was proposing.
I was sitting there talking to his mother.
Dude wipes.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
And
What?
he did it in front of me and his mother.
And his mother?
It's just crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude wipes.
Crying because his butthole was so big, but that's another story.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. Whoa,
Wait a minute.
We'll talk about
You can't leave that hanging out there.
Pause.
He's got a big butthole, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Right back to you, Jay.
Yeah.
Dude wipes.
Was it clean at least?
No.
Oh.
I think that's why it looked big. It was brown, full of junk. Yeah, it was nasty.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not even Manscaped?
he just got shit flakes.
Are you saying what he needed
falling
was
He
all
was
some...
over
like,
the place.
I don't know.
Are you saying what he needed was some dude
Dingleberries.
wipes?
He was a teenager, and I told her, I said, I don't think his butthole's that big. I think it was just crap. She started crying.
You see some dude wipes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Proud
definitely.
sponsor.
Get the address.
Yeah.
Ship him out a case of dude wipes.
Y'all, I'm so sorry. I always send the stories in the wrong direction.
No,
It's quite all right.
what other direction could you send it?
Right.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Dude wipes.
Some guy bent over and showed me his dirty butthole.
Yeah. Someone's got a mic drop. Someone's got a sound drop now.
Dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Dude
Exactly.
wipes.
That's their new commercial. I'm gonna cut it tomorrow. Make sure it happens.
Yeah, you got to.
I got a dude wipes commercial for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me hear it. Dude wipes. The guy bent over and showed me his dirty butthole.
Dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
The guy got naked in the Rock Comedy Show.
Oh,
Dude wipes.
my mind's eye keeps remembering. I don't want
DudeProducts.com.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a doozy.
Looking.
Was that pure joy?
No,
Man,
wait.
she
Oh,
makes
fake.
the
No,
best
these are old lineups.
commercials.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Oh my gosh. So, Michael Gagliano from Two Clueless Dudes, who is going to be on the show next, he mentions he's super stoked for the Saturn mission.
Hell yeah.
All kinds of Saturn.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It's gonna take a long ass fucking time though.
Yeah, it's not going to get there in a hurry, no.
No. All right, so next, we like doing these lists every once in a while, but this was a list. Someone just started asking the question, what small thing pisses you off?
Yeah, we're going to play with a BuzzFeed list. We're being those
All right.
people right now.
Yeah. I mean, these are fun to do once in a while, especially something like this, because everyone can relate, because we're not so different.
Yeah, so we're going to go through these, and you guys tell us if you can relate or not. Like, if you're down with this one, if you're like, totally, this doesn't bother you.
Or add in some new ones that might not be on here. All right, so the first one. When the curtain in your bedroom has a tiny gap letting a ray of sunshine penetrate your eyeballs.
This one, I know for sure, Ange Kerfoot, this is her, like, top 3 least favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like, all of the top 3 things are this.
Yeah.
One concept.
It's never the case that like the light just shines in like over there in that direction or over there, just past your eyeballs.
It's always
like
aimed right at your eye.
It's always like the blinds open in just a way that it's like
Yeah, a beam right over your face. Plus our cat will like part the drapes just that amount and just leave it that way. Not even put it back where it was.
Yeah.
She never puts anything back where it was. The cat, I mean.
No, why would they? That's why they have us.
That's why we exist.
Yeah. People who act like they're more important than everyone else when getting off a flight.
Either you guys felt either of these first ones? Are we touching you yet? Or are these both like, nah, can handle both of these?
That's probably me. I'm like, yeah, I want to get out of
Seems
here.
pretty
as soon as
universal.
possible.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, like, to me, it's appeared like it's the same kind of thing with, like, turn signals now. And it may be, like, local, but it's like, it's a game you have to play to get off the fucking plane now, right? It's like,
yeah, there's those run-uppers that, like, think they just run up from
because,
the back.
like, look, maybe it used to, I don't know, maybe it used to be that, like, everyone would just get off orderly, you know, but people don't do that anymore, so you can't, those aren't the rules to the game anymore. So you can't fucking do that. Like, you just have to get off the fucking plane, like, whenever you can. You have to get out of the aisle at your opportunity. And that's the game now. Like, it isn't like, okay, let those 3 people off, let those 3 people off, let those, you know, whatever. No. Just like turn signals, it's actually, like, worse now to use a turn signal, because if you put your turn signal on, people are going to speed up and not let you over, even though they're way the fuck back there.
Yeah, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
like
that?
it invites them to claim
It's a
that
different
lane.
game now. You have to play by a different game.
And
like,
you know what? If they speed up and you do go over and they hit the back of you, they owe you money.
it
Even
is
though
their
that
fault.
money has to go to fixing your car,
Yeah.
they owe you money nonetheless.
That's the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
Their insurance goes up, and hopefully they get points off their license. Let's play some. Let's make a new game.
That's right. Accidents to the back of my vehicle are the most beautiful type of accident of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're never responsible for stuff that happens to the back of your car. You could have slammed on your
I
brakes.
usually get hit in the back and then they just like speed off.
Oh,
like
that's rough though. 'Cause
Yeah, that sucks.
There's no one to collect it from, so
there's usually
You
like,
you don't
also-
get the points on
no
your
mark,
license, but it's
You
still,
also have to be careful
still have a deductible.
not to be close enough to get pushed into the person in front of you,
Oh!
because that is also your fault. You will get a ticket for that.
Yeah, then you're the hit the back dude.
Yeah, so they'll get a ticket for hitting you, and you'll get a ticket for following too closely.
Oh man.
Maybe less of a ticket, but still.
Should
you
be
know.
playing the game.
Yeah,
Playing that touch
yo.
the backs of cars game.
Yeah, just don't play it at all.
Yeah, exactly. Live by the sword, die by the sword. So,
All right.
wait. RJ threw one in. This is juicy. When people, and this is awful,
All right.
when people don't time their windshield wipers. I mean, do your wipers need to be full on, rocking in the drizzliest of
yeah.
rains? Drives them nuts. So, like, when it's barely raining and someone's wipers are just...
And you're like, what the fuck is this person doing? Look at this fucking guy. Do you know what those things are for?
Overreacting, wearing them out.
I feel you, RJ, yeah.
have you ever got sprayed by the wiper fluid?
Yeah!
Oh, man.
When
yeah.
you're behind the car?
It's like a drive-through and you're hanging out the
Just
window
like
to pay the money.
sprays, yeah.
Goes right in your mouth. It tastes like Windex. Don't ask me why I know what that flavor is.
You're like, I was going through the drive-through, but I forgot my car today. All right. Number 3, when I see someone just leave their shopping cart in the parking lot, especially when they're right next to the cart return.
I'm pausing because I don't even notice. Maybe I'm that guy.
Distracted by Ice Cube? Why is
Yeah.
I put it in the cart return if I'm near the cart return. Actually, I do every time now because but like when I was younger, I would pick a nearby curb sometimes too.
Yeah.
So at least wouldn't hit someone else's car. Now I feel like I need the extra jog over there, so I'll toss it in the thing, and then I get that little rush of feeling like a citizen.
Here's a good point too, is like, yo, sometimes the people who come out to get the carts, maybe they want a fucking break from the store.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe they want to spend a little more time.
Maybe they want to go spend 10 minutes wrangling the carts just so they don't have to be in the fucking store.
Is that why you take the cart to like the
far
Arby's on the
ends,
far side?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like
The far end. Plus, I had to get my meat carrot.
yeah.
You know.
So you have it just like way by the Little Caesars parking lot. It's like technically the other lot, but
Yeah.
where they can see it. If they can't see it,
Well, that's why I go through the extra step. I attach a flag to it and say, like, your cart here.
yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
RJ also mentions burning toast is a minimal thing that just engulfs you. Who wants to scrape a piece of bread
man.
with butter knife in the sink? Then you got to clean the sink. To me, I'm like, that's more carbon. Bring the burnt. I'll just scrape the burnt onto some ice. And
Yeah.
have a burnt water. Have you ever noticed that? If you burn toast and you scrape the burnt top part off, like onto some things that normally don't taste burnt, like mac and cheese or something.
Oh yeah, it's just
you can get like a burnt flavor.
Yeah.
Get that burnt water, the burnt ice, burnt mac and cheese. Why
are we doing this?
Got some burnt carrots, you guys. You take those cold, because I like. Sometimes I like to get little carrot fellows just cold out of the fridge, and chomp them like that. But if you sprinkle some burnt on it, it's like charred them, but they're still like all wet and cold. Sounds great, right?
Little burnt fellas.
Little burnt fellas.
Yeah. All right.
I hate this next one because I feel like it's trite and been done.
People who don't allow other people to get off the subway or out of elevators before trying to get on.
Get over it. That's. I don't like it either, and it always makes me mad. But it feels like complaining about that it rains sometimes.
Every time I drive, there's like a red light.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, here's my thing though. Like, right, like there are more efficient ways to do things.
We should acknowledge those. Yeah,
and like if people just did those.
Yeah.
Like the world would run smoother.
Like the zipper. You're always talking about
the fucking zipper, man.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah, right?
People who can't fucking zipper, like when you're getting on the freeway.
Yeah, we're talking about merging
it's
cars.
Like one car merges behind another, then the car in that line goes.
That takes a lot of skill. Half the population is like below average intelligence, so like.
I'm not below average intelligence, but you're pretty scared.
That's like statistically accurate.
You know, like, all right, instead of slamming on your brakes when it's a yellow light, you cruise through that bitch.
Well, that's an Arizona move. Well, that's because like Arizona taught people that.
Yeah.
Because they added those red light cameras.
Like, oh my god. You know, like
yeah. In Southern California, there was that huge controversy that the company that made the red light cameras got paid for how many people they caught. So it was in their best interest to just keep narrowing the speed or the length of the yellow light down to where there's supposed to be a delay from when the yellow turns to red, where you'd still have a little bit of grace before getting a ticket. So people that were just catching a yellow wouldn't get a ticket. And people got more and more tickets, and they looked into it, and this company was shaving that down and taking the profits. Arizona was just giving you a ticket if you were in an intersection during a yellow light. So people would see a yellow light and slam on their brakes. And
it's insane, man.
Yeah, and then there's tons of rear end issues in Arizona. They might have improved it some, but their ticketing for yellow lights is unparalleled.
I think that's a great example of how we don't need to regulate any industries. Industries will self-regulate and not try to rip off regular people at every fucking turn. So
it's that whole thing like, oh, we want small government so that business can be free to thrive. We want the smallest government until we just have big business, and then we have business government. I mean, and it's no government, and it's just business.
Yeah, it's all like the government's already like subject to regulatory capture. I mean, like all the big businesses pay all the politicians. So
yeah, and I'm not saying that big government and over restrictive policies are the answer either, but maybe a balance.
Yeah, some. All right. When the fitted sheet. All right. So I'm going to write this one off right from the gate because
it starts with a fitted sheet. You're lucky you even have fitted sheets.
The fuck is that?
You just have a quilt over your mattress? Fuck you.
The fuck is a fitted sheet? Fitted sheet. These motherfuckers.
Spoiled ass fitted
Get out of here.
People. Mattresses are gross, though. They collect all your dead skin cells.
So do sheets.
And well, you can wash those. You can't necessarily wash.
You can just
I'm not raw dogging it on the sheet on the mattress all the time. But I mean, I feel like you put. I'm not just rubbing skin flakes on my raw mattress. But some people don't use a fitted sheet. They just drape other things on top of the mattress.
That's what
I have a fitted sheet, but when it slides off, I sleep great still.
Yeah,
I just put it back on a couple days later.
See, I actually throw all my clothes from the dryer that I'm never gonna fold just like on my bed.
Yeah, it's
and
like
that's
sheet.
my sheet.
A layer of clothing.
And then And then when I don't have any more clothes on the bed, that's when I wash my clothes and have a new sheet. So
that
it's always
actually
fresh.
sounds fun. Like imagine all the different textures under you.
It'd be terrible.
You have little
buttons,
buttons,
and zippers, like
It
poking
smells
in.
good.
It's just the
Right?
little buttons.
With the downy,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, it smells good. It's
The-
like
the
you're
dryer,
sleeping next to
yeah.
a wonderful
Like, why do you
woman
have
if
these
you're
red
single.
dots on your face?
Oh man,
That's not hives. Well, that's buttons.
it's got a button imprint.
Yeah,
It's
like
right.
all day.
Oh
'cause
my
it's
gosh.
been there,
The
like-
zippers, though, that's even crazier. I
Oh,
just don't
man.
have clothes with zippers for this reason.
All right.
Velcro.
All right, this next one. People who stand in front of exits or entrances having a full conversation right there blocking the way.
I hate this a lot extra.
Yo, I do not understand
How
how
about people in
people
general standing around?
I just I don't understand how someone can like open a door
and then wait there. in the
step
door,
out
yeah.
of it with someone and then stop before they close the door and start talking.
Yeah.
I do not understand how you do not complete the process of like leaving the building.
Yeah, I feel like I constantly have to walk around like a little gaggle of people right in
Yeah.
front of the doorway to a restaurant. That's the only door in.
Yeah.
And then they act like, oh, golly, what are we doing here? Like, yeah, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Weren't you just in a restaurant talking to each other?
Yeah.
Let's say
Did you
goodbye or
just,
go
like-
buy your cars or
did
go
you just-
tailgate it.
Did you just completely forget where you were?
I
Yeah.
think a group though of slow walkers, like down, like,
Oh, God.
like in
It's
the
shoulder to
mall or
shoulder.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're like
slow walkers.
They're taking up the whole walkway, and they're very slow.
Casino
and, like,
zombies.
You can't avoid
Yeah.
them go around.
Those shoulder to shoulder
Casinos, yeah.
slow walkers, the casino zombies that will run into you even as while you're actively trying to
Trying to
avoid
go
them.
around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're walking forward but looking to the side, mouth open.
Yeah. Well,
They
that's
get their
like
drool on you.
that's like one of my favorite games whenever I go to casinos is like navigate the people maze.
Yeah.
It's like if you just treat it like a game where you have to dodge people. It
It's
actually
fun, like,
makes it
predicting
pretty
the
fun.
path.
Yeah. All right.
So this person with number 6, they're not having fun with it.
No. So, all right. When you get home after being out all day and you take off your pants, shoes, only then to discover you have to go back out for something stupid.
I genuinely hate this. I felt like I was the only one
When
that
you
this
live
happened
with
to.
roommates, this is like all the time. Like I just want to like take everything off and relax. Oh, now I gotta go to the bathroom. Gotta get dressed again to go into the
no.
hallway because there's other people
See,
there.
I've eliminated this entire aspect out of my life because I forget it. I never needed it in the first place.
You're like, I give up on that object.
And I'm not going out to get it until tomorrow. Like, it can wait till tomorrow.
I'm champion leave stuff in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I
yeah,
want this in the
dude.
car later. Like, no, I want that thing that was in the car. I don't want it in the car.
Oh,
Change my
God.
mind.
All right. How about this one?
Okay.
People who continue to explain something to me after I've said I know at least thrice.
I feel like this is a person that
That's
has
me.
required a lot of things explained to them now. Or not. I shouldn't have. I didn't mean to say that right after you said that's you. But yeah, you're probably just like,
They
I
give
know.
you that look like I know, stop talking.
Some people don't think you've heard it until you repeat it back to them in their own words while making unbreaking eye contact, and that's super annoying. But some people complain about this when they like haven't acted like they know.
Yeah,
When they're
and
just
it
getting
must-
told something they haven't acted on at all.
And I think it's like a very specific situation because some people's like conversational style is like that, right? Where like you start explaining something and then like someone latches onto something, you know, like that's how you converse with people, and that's fine. Like,
Yeah, sometimes people say they know and they think they know.
yeah,
They don't really
but
know.
they don't know. They don't fucking know.
But then who am I to judge what this other person knows?
Yeah.
So this one
Only the person who's read way more about it than they have. No.
I'm super conflicted on this one.
Yeah, no,
That's my
me too.
bottom line.
All right. When someone asks a lot of questions and then doesn't listen to the answer, I have a different job now because my last boss did this so often.
That's my job every day.
Yeah. That's I could see how that would get. That's pretty irritating.
They answer it themselves. They'll ask a question and they answer it themselves, and it's like, why did you ask me?
Oh man, I have that kind of habit, and it's more of like a sometimes I need to talk out loud.
Yeah.
And someone just
Yeah.
happens to be around, and it's not like necessarily directed at them, but it's just like I have to sound like I'm talking to a different person right now to like answer myself.
Everyone needs that in life. Everyone
Yeah.
needs, if it's not a pet, or like a passive friend, someone that will just hear you out figuring something out loud, but interact with you enough that you take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because you just do it with like stuffed animals or something, and you don't really get the like that look of like, oh yeah, I'm with you, or like, oh, you're kind of being a little thorough on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude. I have a friend, Anthony, who's I don't know, just being in space.
Shout out to Space Anthony.
Yeah, no.
This
place to be.
This is a good one. I think most people know someone like this or have known someone like this. People who are constantly trying to one up your situation. Like if you tell them you've got a cold, they'll respond with, "I've had pneumonia for 10 straight years."
I hate this one most when I'm accidentally that person.
Yeah, me
I
too.
do that. I'm like, you know what? I've fucking died 3 times.
I don't ever feel like I'm trying to like one up someone where I'm like, oh, that's a cool story. I better tell my cool story. It's more like I have something that can relate. Like,
yeah, that's usually my intention is like, oh, I'm with you. This has happened to me similarly.
And you hear it back, and you're like, oh, I totally just dismissed his whole point.
Yeah.
I'm pissed on it. And then went, yeah, well, this happened to me. So
yeah.
Try walking in my shoes, buddy.
Right. All right, this one, whenever I have small wounds on any of my fingers and don't know where they came from,
I want to know the backstory of.
Yeah, because like I don't constantly get small wounds on my fingers.
So
who does
all
that?
of these?
How about bruises like all over your body?
Like surprise bruises from just bumping into
suddenly
stuff.
My legs are completely bruised. I don't know what happened.
Some people bruise really easily and like just barely bumping into something.
It's probably drunk bruises, you know, when you get
Furniture.
really wasted and you're just like falling all over the place.
End tables.
End table. Yeah.
Oh man, end tables are like a significant, like dangerous entity in my life.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a scar on my eyebrow from being an infant, new to walking, and getting taken out by an end table.
Oh my god!
Right in the midst of my enthusiasm of my new discovery.
Yeah, I was imagining that as a grown adult. How would you get it on your eyebrow?
Well, I was walking on my knees. And, it's weird foreplay.
All right. This one, I don't know. People who can never just admit they screwed up. It doesn't matter how small the mistake is. When confronted, they always have an excuse. Just say, I'm sorry, and move on. I don't need an essay on why you did what you did. I mean, I don't think that's really, like, irritating, I guess. I mean, it would be, like, easier if everyone was just like, hey, I fucked up.
This is like a boss here that hears this all the time.
Yeah, it's got to be a boss,
because, like, as a normal person, like, you almost tend to expect a certain amount of this with friends and relationships as a sort of... Because it's also a form of saying sorry, and you know, because this isn't super clear on whether it's someone making an excuse in an apologetic way or making an excuse in a way that like it really excuses them. Because some things that are called an excuse are really just like a reason and a backstory, and they just want you to understand the circumstance of it more. And other times it's just like, oh, you're trying to pass it off as something.
Yeah, where it's not your fault. I guess in like the case where like someone tries to make everything not their fault.
Yeah, that's
like
gross.
that's irritating. But like if it's someone who just explains a reasoning for why something happened, like that's a little different. But
again, BuzzFeed, this one's trite. This is that complaining about stoplights baloney again.
Yeah.
Number 11 is real juicy. Because there's times in my life when I do have surprise cuts in my finger, but not like plural. It'll be like a small wound, and I'll remember, oh, I was working with this tool earlier. That's a sneaky tool. It snapped at me.
I once had a surprise wart on my thumb. I was like, what the hell? Where did this come from? It finally has gone away. I was like, yes. But it was the ugliest, weirdest, random thing I had one day. I was like, what is this? Someone said, that's a wart. It just like
popped up?
Yeah, it just popped up. They're like, that's a wart. I'm like, why do I have a wart on my thumb?
You're turning into a controller. You're like an Xbox controller now. It's just like a little button. My dad had a wart that turned into just like a skin bump thing that just was like a permanent...
Like a callus or something?
Yeah, like a little pinky finger tip that just... but like eraser dot size. And it was on his hand. And as I was a little kid... whenever I'd walk someone with him, I'd push it like it was a button and pretend I was controlling him like a big robot.
All right, this one I don't understand, but it sounds interesting. When bananas have a lot of those threads, you know those tiny cords between the banana and skin? I find them revolting despite loving the fruit itself. It's like eating hair. Just the thought of it makes me want to vomit.
Who remembers banana hair?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, from the last time
Can
I'd
you
have had
eat
bananas
that?
a day
It's
ago.
so gross.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
It tastes like the rest of the banana.
I don't generally even like bananas.
Oh, okay.
I just imagine it doesn't digest and it just comes out of your ass like in a string.
That's
like, and the string comes right out of your ass. Like.
I just don't think bananas are that great. Like, I don't know. They're just, as far
You
as
don't
fruits
like a
go,
smoothie? I love smoothies.
and
Yeah,
smoothies
I'm
they're
with you on
fine. But like, just eating a banana, I'm like, they just,
alright.
You
they
gotta
just
put
taste
Nutella
kinda
on
weird.
it. Try Nutella.
That's a move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I don't know.
Well, here's what I'm doing. Whenever I peel a banana now, and there's this little string of banana between the inner banana and the outer peel, the inside of the outer peel,
Yeah.
those little strings, I worship them. I collect them. I try to really carefully detach both ends to keep the whole string. And I set them on this styrofoam plate along with each other, side by side, lengthwise. And so I get like this doll hair thing. And then I
weird little
Danish it
ritual.
up. Yeah. And once I get a good pile of them, I just eat it like a little swirly Danish. I just love it. Special. I take my time. I let it sit and dissolve in my mouth.
Oh man, dude.
Take that, BuzzFeed.
All right, this one I can kind of get. People who say you choose whether your day is good or bad. After I just said I was having a bad day. I know focusing on the positive is good, but sometimes people just have bad days and want to talk it out.
Yeah, it's dismissive, and it goes with what you were saying before about how sometimes people just need to run something by you that they don't even need a response to.
And I really don't like this whole idea of like, your life is just a frame of mind. Like, what happens to you in your life is just your frame of mind. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
and it's more of talking about a place that you're in than something that you need to be like super solution oriented about in that moment.
yeah, sometimes you want to get something off your chest. Like, I mean, that's not a big deal. People do that. That's normal between
Wait,
people.
what is the issue here? Whether they're having a bad day
I
or...
listen to like drone music, like Naja. Yeah, when you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, that Moby's been putting out these ambient albums.
Really?
They're phenomenal. Yeah, they're called Calm 1 and 2.
I wonder what Moby's been up to.
They're amazing. Yeah.
Really?
Songs, yeah, dude. Me and her just like lie down and just...
I'll just check it out.
Some gummies, some indica gummies,
Dude, I was sitting
and...
there painting. I got her all stoned. And shit. Here, babe. Smoke this, eat this.
And listen to Moby.
Yeah. So I blasted Moby and I started painting. She's like, you should make people pay for this experience. I'm so glad you had a good time.
Nice.
But there is something to be said about being high, listening to music. But,
Yeah.
not for depression. Then you're just stoned and depressed. You know, like it's not like you're happier.
What is the issue? You control whether your day is good or bad, or whether you're complaining about it?
People who say that anyone can choose whether your day is good or bad.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
You know, look, don't pray for more money, just pray for money. I don't know. Don't pray for a new car radiator, just pray for a tank. Whatever, you know, pray for like the thing above that. Like pray for it's further than that. And man, that's like, look, dude, you're poor. You ain't praying hard enough. like you ain't praying for the right shit.
Yeah. I hate. Yeah.
It makes
I know.
you feel guilty.
Man, I need someone to tell me what specifically to pray for after I've already started to get it.
Well, you're in luck, dude. I'm writing a book. No, I'm just kidding. I should fucking write a book. Just like
This is one thing when it's like general advice, like it's okay for you to preach to people generally to choose whether your day is good or bad. But when you say it's like an individual, it's like super dismissive.
Well, and I think like this is the problem I have with like all these ideas about like visualizing your life in a certain way, and it's like, if you want to be a millionaire, just picture yourself as a millionaire and you'll be one. And it's like, that's
some bullshit.
That's not how it works.
A few steps missing there.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, visualizing things can help because if you imagine yourself doing a certain thing, it can help change your behavior. That's how that stuff works. It doesn't just like make shit happen. That's the part that irritates me is like
It's the action part. You have to follow through. You have to
But
do
no one
something.
ever wants to talk about the action part. They only want to talk about the visualization part of it. It's like, okay, visualize what you want in life. And if you really want that, you have to work your ass off for it. And that's how it is.
Visualize this
Yeah, for real.
Like, visualizing ain't going to do shit.
Yeah.
Visualize these nuts.
There you go.
If you want
to work for it.
If you want an attack squirrel, you have to capture a wild squirrel and feed it meth and teach it kung fu.
Yeah.
All right?
You have to put the time in.
Yeah. You can't just like visualize an attack squirrel. Come on, man.
No, you can't like tell it what to do. You have to
that would be
train
an amazing YouTube channel that they missed out on, by the way.
Yeah.
They should
Oh,
have
man.
filmed the meth squirrel.
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah,
trained it to attack things.
There's
people.
multiple episodes there.
Yeah, like that's you monetize that. You know, there's probably some hicks in the Appalachian Mountains, but you can monetize that. You know, buy yourself a nice house for the meth squirrel. Give it a good life.
That's great.
And plenty of meth.
Really fast good life.
Oh man. This next one's like such a big problem I have. That's like why I don't use in-ear headphones.
When you have earbuds in and something catches the cord violently, ripping
all the time.
them out of
your
your
phone,
ears.
it drops and it's
endlessly.
Like,
Oh,
We
that's
should all
like
be-
probably my least favorite feeling.
That's where like the AirPods or whatever are onto something.
Yeah.
Except you
Yeah.
could swallow those in your sleep.
Or someone
What?
can. Yeah. People have swallowed
oh
their.
my god!
There was a guy that swallowed it and
Humans are dumb.
well no, it was
That's some thorough sleeping. Like I wouldn't want to sleep next to this person.
it was in his sleep and he accidentally swallowed one of his AirPods. And then he pooped it out like 3 days later. Or whatever, a day or two.
Sanitize and good as new.
And it still works. Works fine.
Put in some rice. Can you rice out the poo?
Maybe.
Plausible. I wouldn't want it in my mouth again.
But it was
though.
heavy duty. Yeah. I wouldn't want to swallow that one again.
That's not my bed pair anymore.
Those are expensive.
Yeah. That's the one you give away to your nephew on his birthday.
Here you go, buddy.
Like they're slightly used. I don't use these anymore.
Watch
No, I
out
like
for
that.
that last one.
Here's my poop earbuds.
One's a little louder than the other one. Don't,
Yeah,
just ignore that.
Do you have to replace both if you lose one? Like
I think they're buddies forever. I don't think you can just
Yeah.
get one earpod.
damn.
It's in the name.
All right.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
All right, here's one. People who keep meal leftovers on their plate when they put them in the sink instead of throwing it away, then placing them in the sink.
Those aren't people. Those aren't real human
They
beings.
aren't. No.
Well, if you have
Yeah.
a garbage disposal, actually, if you have a decent garbage disposal, this is kind of a non-issue.
You're not actually supposed to put like
whole chunks of food in
serious
there.
stuff
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
You're really abusing the garbage disposal situation.
I don't believe the coffee grounds though. Like,
How hard
why
is it
is
to
coffee
shovel?
grounds a bad thing to
Yeah,
put down there?
I never understood that. I'm like, fuck these guys.
I
Yeah.
thought you were supposed to put coffee grounds in there to make it smell better.
Yeah.
Am I doing the wrong thing?
I mean, no. If you like it.
All right, let's chug through these because
All
we've
right.
got a few more.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip this. Yeah, I'm gonna skip.
Well, the
a few of
wash a
these.
spoon. Have you guys washed a spoon?
Oh, yeah.
And had the water fly
Just
at you?
today.
That's a fun. I kind of think that's fun though. It makes
It is.
washing dishes
It's
extra
like when you
adventurous.
poop and the whole thing, like if that water hits your butt.
What?
I mean, that's been a thing I've heard on podcasts. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what
the
I mean?
sploosh. Yeah.
Sploosh.
Your
Yeah, I know.
dishwashing
Sploosh.
situation is much different than mine.
You know, it gets hot back there. I don't want to wear pants.
It's
That's his
hot back
designated
there.
toilet.
It's
Like in
the-
Bob's Burgers.
He gets
Or
his
like,
own.
or like when you're washing dishes and then you got like the sploosh in your butt. Like what? Am I washing dishes
No,
wrong?
it's from Big Mouth. This is my designated toilet. The sink.
Oh God, I love that show. Big Mouth. Because when there's something in the back of your car that's rolling around, you're like reaching back there and it's making noise, but it's too far away for you to grab it. Just keeps bumbling
yeah.
around back there.
Or the death move when
Stoplight.
there's a water bottle that's been rolling around the back seat forever and it rolls under the front seat and then under your
Oh,
brake pedal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a full water bottle. And you got a brake. Yo, that's the best. That's like,
Oh man.
all right, how can I avoid disaster
Or
in
your shoe
0.5
comes off,
seconds?
like flip flop comes off, goes
Oh,
on
yeah.
through the brake pedal, and you can't fully brake, and you gotta like swing it out.
driving with flip flops is actually like not really that safe. I think, even though I do it all the time, but it's not safe, and I know that, and I'm willing to take that risk. But if you're not, you shouldn't. But I can't drive without something on my feet. Like, I feel
that's a
weird.
weird feeling.
It really is. It feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more we gotta draw attention to, because I take like what's something I could take to the fence. I'm gonna okay. People who borrow my car and change everything so that I have to readjust my seat, mirrors, and the volume on the radio. Well, wait.
Me.
If I let you borrow my car, I very much want you to adjust the mirrors and the seat, because otherwise you're going to crash my car. Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't expect you to put it back. Okay.
No, how could you know how to?
Yeah.
There's one exception. Ange used to borrow my car, or we shared a car, and she would put the mirrors back almost exactly how I had them when she was done. I have no idea how she did it. She must have had to like memorize what things looked like in the mirror for her when she didn't like them and put them almost exactly. So, but besides that, that's unholy. That's difficult to do. So I don't expect that this person they're going to get their car crashed. Yeah, please borrow my car, but don't change anything you need to do to drive it safely.
I gotta mention this one.
The volume on the radio? They can't touch the volume on the radio? BuzzFeed's got some brats.
Yo, listen. All right, this one. People at a pedestrian crossing who do not push the button, but stand too close to the button for me to do it, and then look angry when the green man never appears.
I've never seen this. I've only seen people that press the button a lot of extra times.
I don't know. Yeah, that's annoying because it doesn't actually do anything. But I mean, I've experienced people at crosswalks who like don't push the button and then expect it to change just on their own. Some do that, but not all of them.
Yeah, I've never seen people ignore the button. Maybe because I'm like, I can't not touch the button. I want every opportunity.
I'm more of a pedestrian than most people, but I see it a lot, especially down near the Strip, which I imagine is because of like tourism, and I imagine in other countries like they just decided to like forego the button altogether, and like crosswalks just turn on when the light is red, when the opposite light is red. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it's more efficient. Yeah, some of these.
Have you seen what this colonizing the galaxy might look like?
I did.
That's worth checking out. You guys dive into woz.lol. Check out this article, and it's one of the first articles on our news notes.
My only problem with this is that I find it really unlikely that this is going to happen.
Well, this is tens of thousands of years probably.
Yeah. I mean, even like just the first step. I find it hard to believe, but you never know.
Well, we've got to get off the planet. We can't just have this one planet. There's no future in that.
There's no future for humans, though, I don't think. I think we're...
Well, if it's not human beings, then it's going to be some intelligence that human beings perpetuated or originated that's even more human in the things that make humans unique compared to other animals on this planet, as far as predicting the future and making plans further ahead and teaming up with each other.
It's going to be robots.
Something we do on another level of any other animal. It's why the brains are so malleable, and we spend so long as children receiving fresh training versus the amount of our brains that are just born with instincts. We have the least instinct to trained stuff ratio of any like living thing. We have to spend the longest time in childhood getting manually trained, but it's more malleable. It means each generation can change more than what you can just change genetically.
Like way more adaptable.
So like a robot on that level, I see going further than us. But like for humans to perpetuate, we're not going to. And I'm not thinking like we're going to destroy this planet necessarily, but something will get it eventually. Like if we keep the planet super nice, a rock's going to bump into it sooner or later.
I mean,
it's already happened a couple times.
But we're already not keeping the planet super nice. So.
No.
Speaking of rocks bumping into us, there were astronomers were able to spot a car-sized asteroid just hours before impact.
Yeah, we need a greater warning than that.
Yeah, which sounds kind of spooky, but a car-sized asteroid is like not really that big of a deal, and it just burned up in the atmosphere. And I feel like
I forgot that's not super crazy big for the atmosphere to gobble
up. I mean, a little chunk like made it through, and it broke up, but it's not like anything that's going to cause any major damage. Like I think we would have much more notice.
Yeah, what is the size that would cause serious damage? Like
I don't know like what the threshold is.
What do they call that?
Yeah, a life-ending event, I think is what it's really called.
I can't remember. Yeah, life extinction event or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and this is actually only the 4th time, I believe, that scientists were able to spot an asteroid so close to impact. So, it's pretty interesting. But yeah.
Say, didn't you find new research on how dolphins might be smarter than people as far as they recognize themselves in the mirror sooner than we do?
Self-awareness, yeah.
They might be more self-aware than people. So they framed this article, they framed it as if it might mean dolphins are smarter than people in some ways, but it really seemed more like dolphins are more vain than people.
Yeah.
Like, we found an animal capable of more vanity.
Yeah, that's what it really seems like. And like, I mean, they might be just as intelligent. Who knows? I mean, they have like it seems like they have like a complex language. I mean, they all have like names. Like they name themselves.
Yeah, they definitely
they have like
that
a
much
code
language
that they call themselves by, and that other dolphins call them by.
That's a huge step beyond just making music. Lots of animals make music, and we supposedly did before language.
Yeah.
To communicate traditions and as part of dances that would teach how to do things. But this name level, that's something fresh.
Yeah. And recognizing themselves in the mirror. But dolphins are also like fucked up too. I mean, just as fucked up as people are. So
the way that dolphins go about animal abuse for fun, like how they'll beat up porpoises, is way beyond what we would consider like in modern era of like animal rights.
Yeah.
Even worse than people used to be in recorded history with animals and respecting them as objects. Dolphins will just beat up a porpoise like a toy.
Yeah, for sure. And play with the corpse.
Yeah,
and like play with the corpse like a toy for a while before they like.
Orcas as well are pretty scary.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I got another quick bits. There's a fungus that eats plastic. Now, this sounds great. This could go in landfills and eat the plastic that's not dissolving and that's getting crammed full of the orcas are getting full of it. All these sea life's getting full of plastic. My only worry is there's a mollusk or a shell animal clam thing that had been released to clean up some lakes. I think some of the lakes around Michigan had this issue. Now, forgive me for not remembering what it's called because it's a big deal for a lot of ecosystems. And it's an example of something that was introduced to clean up a situation, and it overtook it and started competing out the other natural wildlife and causing other extinctions. And now it's a menace. So we might think we can release this fungus that eats plastic, but if we don't give it like a shelf life or tame its reproduction and just set it free, then we're just gonna like have our cars dissolve in our driveways or something from this craziness.
But I don't think that'll be the case. Like,
I think it's gonna be thought of more carefully than that. Like in controlled situations that just
and like I mean if it eats plastic, like that doesn't mean
it's gonna eat all the plastic.
Yeah. Or like that I'm sure it doesn't just like dissolve plastic upon touching it. You know, it's like a
probably
process.
Takes a minute.
Yeah, it like breaks it down and processes it and digests it. So it's not like this like scenario where the fungus is just gonna start in a landfill and then just like take over everything and it's gonna dissolve all the buildings because all their buildings are made out of plastic too. You know,
right?
Yeah.
So there's another breaking thing. This deserves a separate stinger. Check this out. So on Mars, there's been discovered a recent methane spike. Methane is often secreted by microorganisms. And I saw this news, especially the way it was framed, and thought we totally discovered microorganisms on Mars for sure. Because, and this has been massively underreported, Ceres, which is the largest planetoid in the asteroid belt, about Pluto-sized, we have discovered microbes on it. And it seems that from more recent looking into it, that these microbes likely originated there naturally rather than being seeded there by a comet or something. It could have been the same swirling geoheatly, and when you have enough warmth and you have predecessor molecules, enzyme-y, chainy things, and they get to swirl around and bump into each other in different configurations, it's possible for rudimentary life to form and it to evolve and compete to keep being organized. And it's a whole process that likely happened on its own in Ceres and could have in other places. But we don't know if that's occurred on Mars for sure, just because of this methane spike. It's too early, even though I got really excited.
Could be, though.
Could be, though.
Methane is, though, also a problem.
Yeah,
from,
and
like cows and shit, right?
Other things do it.
Farting cows.
The same article, when I read it further beyond the headlines, talked about geological processes by which basically the rocks could be letting off extra methane there by their whole rocky chemicals doing their thing. So that's my chug on the major headlines. What are your major things that we can't leave without?
Just this last one, and then I guess we'll throw in a couple commercials at the end as we head out. That the healing crystals, all these spiritual hippie whoop crystals, all that stuff.
Quartz, which is also like in your watch, and all liquid crystal displays are quartz. Quartz is just in a lot of actual magical things electronically. The computers, as we know them, couldn't function and keep good time in their processors without quartz crystals.
Yeah.
Barbecue lighters. There's speakers that vibrate them. There's a million uses for quartz crystals that are legitimately magic, beyond just like holding them and expecting magic.
Yeah, but it turns out that a lot of those are mined by kids in war-torn countries, and the money that is generated by mining these fund terrorism. And also, as a side note, obviously, fucking rocks are not magic and do not have magical healing properties.
I would say that quartz crystals definitely are for sure magical, but it's only...
Not in the human healing way.
Yeah, it doesn't mean just because you're getting zapped by something because you squeezed it that it's necessarily healing you.
Yeah.
Because you can take a barbecue lighter apart and it will zap you, that little spark. It's definitely affecting you, but it's just because a hammer is hitting a quartz crystal, and they do that.
Yeah.
So if that does something else to you, unproven, that's amazing, but it's not likely to be very dramatically powerful. But before we dig into more commercial time, and be sure to stay tuned for Two Clueless Dudes coming up next, which I get to produce. And if you enjoyed me at all, there might be sprinklings of me in there, if that entices you to stick around. And that's on radiovegas.rocks. And also, you can look up twocluelessdudes.com. You can look up their YouTube, Two Clueless Dudes, and see video feed time of that too. Make sure that you let these sponsors know that radiovegas.rocks sent you. And Tiffany, I wanted to know, what's the next thing you're excited about going on with I'm an Alien zine?
Well, right now I'm working on volume 2 of Metal, so I'm photographing. I just released the Metal issue, volume 1.
And it didn't fit in one volume.
No, when I shoot bands, man, I meet so many cool people and they just don't fit, so I have to do more, you know? So I had my zine release show in March at Evil Pie. I had 3 local metal bands play. It was a really great turnout. It was an amazing experience. People got to see the zine, buy the zine, and see these awesome local bands. And I'm going to do that again for every zine release. So now I'm working on Metal Volume 2. I'm shooting a rehearsal for the band Take, their local hardcore band. Amazing people, just amazing good dudes.
I like that name.
Take, yeah, just Take. And they were on hiatus for like 10 years, and now they're making music again. And
that's cool.
Yeah, I just want to lift up local artists with my zine as much as possible, give them dope images, and make them feel cool about their art.
Yeah.
And about their projects. And
dramatic images.
Yeah.
One of the funnest Instagrams of local stuff to look at.
Yeah. I try for dramatic images like that. I want to make them feel like superheroes, you know. I want them to make them feel like superstars, you know. Give them an image that could be in Rolling Stone. I mean, I try. You
that
know?
that superhero vibe, I think, goes beyond.
Because I think of them as superheroes for all their passion and their dedication, the time, the money, you know, balancing life and family and jobs, and making this music and really working at it. And I see how hard they work when I go to these rehearsals and I talk to them and I let them vent, you know, about their frustrations, about their challenges, about their fears and their anxieties, about making music and art. And I love them all, and I just want to keep lifting up local artists, local grassroots, DIY, hardworking artists. That's what I want to do as a photographer. So
sweet.
Yeah, so check out my zine if you want. It's pretty cool.
This right
I'm
here.
an alien.
Yeah, available in PDF format too. If you shun physical media, that is accommodated.
Dude, the printed page, man. Like, print is awesome. Print is not dead. Magazines are dope.
It's a different
Everyone
experience.
who holds this loves flipping through it, and every band loves to see themselves on a printed page. It's so dope to see them stoked about being printed on a page.
It's legitimizing feeling.
Like, you know, there's Jake, dude, of Desolation. You know, that's or Blake. Sorry.
We should lock down the track listing for what we're starting, like Filet, Wyatt. You know, we should get...
Filet?
I also have another project with Brian. Brian and I are...
Brian Gibson.
Brian Gibson of Wax Pig Melting. Another amazing, talented local artist. Multi-talented. He's an amazing writer, songwriter, painter. His songwriting in particular touches me the most, and his way with words. So he's starting to write articles about musicians and reviews, music reviews, and we're working together, interviewing and photographing local artists and musicians. And we did one on Phil A, a local rapper, producer, beat maker.
He did a lot of the beats behind Late for Dinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Championship.
Yeah, I
Shout
love
out to Late for Dinner.
Yeah.
Hassan.
Brian's usually less sleepy, too. Shout out to Hassan.
Yeah, I love Hassan. He's my
yeah,
buddy.
you have to picture the not sleepy
miss
Brian.
Hassan.
There's some enthusiasm
Hi,
there.
Hassan.
Yeah, hi, Hassan.
Love you, babe.
And, totally, there's previous episodes with Brian all awakey, too, of this podcast to check out.
Yeah.
And also we did Wyatt McKenzie.
I love Wyatt too.
Yeah. He's a really interesting figure and extremely talented songwriter. Like storytelling in his music is just so touching and moving, and I cry when I listen to his music.
It's a very, very, very intimate interview.
Yeah.
I hit some places with that dude.
Yeah.
Championship
We're
plugs.
all about the intimate interviews and touching on, you know, personal topics and really digging deep into, you know, the mind of the artist and the struggles and the heart of the artist. Like, that matters to me. I had an idea for a podcast called Art Therapy, and I might do it one day. I don't know. It's a whole nother project. I have so many projects like swirling around in my brain. But a podcast called Art Therapy, where I just let artists come on and vent to me, because I'm kind of a therapist for a therapist for bands.
I like that.
Well, that makes a lot of sense as a format. If you egg that on, there's good content there. Ooh, you like felt it under my button. But yeah, he had to initiate that song, so we've got to transfer into the next thing.
Alrighty.
But I love how much that complements our complete opposite thing of like, we don't interview.
Yeah.
We just make the artist hang out with us and take a ride. And to bring that to showcasing these artist guts too is another way to get to know them that's also valuable. And there's room for all this content. And speaking of which, Patrick Pulsar Trout is someone that has a radio show on this very thing.
On it.
Yeah, no way!
Yeah.
He scooped us. He beat us. I forgot about that. So his scope of appreciation and knowledge of local music and underground music that's truly really good is something else. So I recommend the schedule page on radiovegas.rocks. Find when he's on. He's on this Wednesday. And tune into him extra. And stay tuned for Two Clueless Dudes, radiovegas.rocks.
You.
Woo!
Okay.
We did it.
It's cool.
Is that mad? Oops.
It's back. The triumphant return of the Zoe Bowie Karaoke Contest. Brought to you by Zip Fizz, all natural energy. With a grand prize of singing your favorite song on stage live with Zoe Bowie and his band. It's the Zoe Bowie Karaoke Contest. For more details, listen to the Rockin' Comedy Show or visit rockingcomedyshow.com. And keep it right here of the station that sings with Zoe Bowie. Radio Vegas rocks.
Are you looking for that afternoon pick-me-up? Well, there's the energy drink way, but you're not a fan of all the sugar or the hard crash? Well, then you need Zip Fizz All Natural Energy. That's right, add it to your bottle of water, and soon you'll be replenished with 4 to 6 hours of all natural